What makes a good engineering school good? I'm starting to get accepted, and rejected, as a transferee student, and a few schools that are known for their engineering accepted me, and a few schools I like but not necessarily known for their engineering also accepted me. My question is, what does it even mean to go to a good engineering school compared to one not as good? I feel like the rankings are so arbitrary and made up. Sometimes I would like more concrete info from those that have gone to both types of schools. Is it access to better professors, projects, or internships? Access to a stronger alumni network? Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say.
So I'd say D, all of the above. I think that what makes a good engineering school good is, yeah, the access to the rankings. Will talk about like the research the professors are doing, but just because the schools ranked high for the professors doesn't necessarily mean that their professors are good teachers. It might just mean that their research is really good, and maybe they're doing their research well with grad students. You don't know. Projects, yeah, I think that really good engineering schools have relationships with industry that allow their students to pursue cool projects that are connected to companies, maybe as part of their design, maybe senior design or design projects. And yes, what something that makes a university very good is access to internships and a strong alumni network that relates to jobs, and all those things are tied in with one another. I think that that's what makes a good engineering school really good, and that's what you should look at. Is now not necessarily how they're ranked in those things, but what you get from having conversations with people that have either gone to that university or people that work for the university that tell you about the resources and the placement opportunities. Because really, what matters to you and what matters to should matter to everyone whenever they're evaluating an engineering school is, what does this do for me long term? So that means, can I get a job in the industry that I want to work in where I can make good money and not be saddled by massive debt? That should really be your calculus. That should be your math. So reach out to the university. If you have an idea of what kind of companies and industries you want to work for, say, hey, do you have people that work for XYZ? Do you have people that work for XYZ? How do I get a job there? What kind of internship placements are people getting in that industry? And then if they're able to get people to work in the industry that you want to work in generally, then and you can afford it, then that's how you pick. So, but that's what I'd say what makes a good engineering school good. Let's read the comments and see what they say. Assuming it's in the US, A-beta accreditation is important. Well, that's a no, that's a non-starter for me. Yes, it has to have A-beta accreditation to even be considered to be good. And resources. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah, funding for your projects, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, so there's one that I didn't really talk about, right? So um, a really good engineering school has good funding for their school project clubs. So like a good example of that is, how good is their FSAE program, for example? Like how well funded is their Formula One or their e-car or their, I don't know, concrete boat. I don't know if that's a design class or just a, a project, but yeah, that there some of the really good schools will have funding, so it'll be more attainable for you to participate in those things and have that on your resume. But that's another thing that makes a good engineering school good. So thank you to the comments for making that known.
Because I ain't chasing payments, still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.